According to many Democrats, I don't even know if this is true. Poor RBG, rather, has been so exploited, particularly in her latter years, by the left, that we don't even really know if this is true or not. But we're told her dying wish is that Trump not replace her. AOC, I don't know, I guess she has some inside knowledge here, delivers that final message.
The very last dying wish of RBG was that her vacancy not be filled until the new president takes office in January. That was her dying wish. Tonight, Mitch McConnell publicly, the night of her passing, he couldn't wait 24 hours, issued a statement saying that he was going to give Trump a vote in violation of her dying wish. People can say how appalling, people could say this is horrible, etc. But we know who this man is. We know who this man is. This is a man who does not care about a dying woman's final wish. Clearly. Hashtag me too. I do not care about this dying wish. I certainly do not care that this justice, who I'll take Scalia at his word, maybe she was a very nice lady, but she was hyper partisan, and I don't care that she allegedly said this very partisan thing at the end of her life. I'll tell you what, here's just what I heard, and who knows if it's true, I just heard it, that Antonin Scalia's dying wish was that Roe versus Wade be overturned. So are you really going to deny the man his dying wish? Look, it's his dying wish. He said it. It's in the Constitution. It's right there in one of the penumbras and the emanations, the dying wish doctrine, that if someone on the court wants anything at the end of their life, you have to give it to them. So look, I'm pretty sure that's what. Also, Scalia said that the Treasury should give me at least $4 to $10 million. I heard it from somebody said it, and it's in the penumbras. So anyway, give me my money, please. Not how our Constitution works, huh? There is lots of confusion about how our Constitution works. Even some Republicans, like Mitt Romney or Lisa Murkowski or Susan Collins, now want to honor RBG's wish and not confirm a judge. I will take you through, in a whirlwind, I will take you through all of the ridiculous and dishonest arguments going on right now about whether or not we should fill the court seat. Just to give you the top line view, should we fill the vacancy? Yes, of course we should fill the vacancy. This is going to be a very bad faith fight with a lot of bad faith arguments, including from some people on the right. In the midst of all this political posturing, everybody is missing the point. So the first argument, this is the first point that the Democrats are making, Bill Clinton just made it the other day. It's that Mitch McConnell would be a hypocrite to fill this seat in an election year after he refused to fill Antonin Scalia's seat with Obama's appointee during 2016.
We're really close to the election. And let's remember the example Abraham Lincoln set, and let's remember the commitments and the comments Mitch McConnell made. I think it would be good for Senator McConnell to make him feel better when he gets up in the morning if he proved that he wasn't being a hypocrite at the time and he just stuck with his position. And I think all the other Republicans should be asked to do the same. But, you can't keep a democracy if there's one set of rules for one group and another set for everybody else.
You heard it from old Bubba himself, who definitely would never play by a different set of rules than his political opponents, right? No, not Bill Clinton. You kidding me? The Clintons? They could never be hypocritical. But that's the point they're making. I'm not even going to get into the Clintons today. The point they're making is Mitch McConnell's a hypocrite because he wouldn't fill the seat in 2016, but he wants to fill it now. Well, okay, what did Mitch McConnell say? What precisely is the McConnell rule from 2016?
It's campaign season. We're right in the middle of it. It's been more than 80 years since a Supreme Court vacancy arose and was filled in a presidential election year. There will not be hearings or votes The next president, whoever that may be, is going to be the person who chooses the next Supreme Court justice.
Boom, he's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite, right? He has to be, because he wouldn't fill the seat in 2016, but he wants to fill it now. That's the McConnell rule. Except, is that the eternal McConnell rule that you can't ever fill a court seat during an election year? Or was that a rule specific to that time? Well, it gets a little more complicated, because at the time, in 2016, Democrats were lambasting McConnell for not filling that seat. Except, do you know where McConnell got that rule from? He got that rule from Joe Biden. So McConnell's a hypocrite, right? Because he wouldn't fill the seat then, and he wants to fill the seat now. But he was evil then. Remember, they were all upset that he wouldn't fill the seat then. So then by their logic, shouldn't they be excited that we're going to fill the seat now? Well, I don't know, because the McConnell rule actually comes from the Biden rule, which was given back in 1992, where Joe Biden said, absolutely not, under no circumstances, should the president put forth the nominee. Now, why did he say that? Because there was a Republican president who would be picking the nominee.
It is my view that if a Supreme Court justice resigns tomorrow or within the next several weeks, or resigns at the end of the summer, President Bush should consider following the practice of a majority of his predecessors and not name a nominee until after the November election is completed. The Senate, too, Mr. President, must consider how it would respond to a Supreme Court vacancy that would occur in the full throes of an election year. It is my view that if the President goes the way of Presidents Fillmore and Johnson and presses an election year nomination, the Senate Judiciary Committee should seriously consider not scheduling confirmation hearings on the nomination until after the political campaign season is over.
Okay, now this is getting really complicated, because it turns out that McConnell rule in 2016 that the Democrats were so upset about was actually invented by Joe Biden, who's the guy that they just picked to be their nominee for president this year. So to put it into perspective, you've got on the side of do not appoint a judge nominee in an election year, you've got Biden in 92 and McConnell in 2016. And then on the side of appoint a judge in an election year, you've got McConnell in 2020. But it gets even more complicated than that, because it turns out that Joe Biden after 2016, Joe Biden in 2020 is for confirming a judge in an election year. Here is Joe, I guess not Joe Biden in 2020, because Joe Biden's changed his tune again. But this is now Joe Biden, not in 1992, after the Merrick Garland fiasco, saying, yes, they should have confirmed a judge.
I made it absolutely clear that I would go forward with the confirmation process as chairman, even a few months before a presidential election, if the nominee were chosen with the advice and not merely the consent of the Senate, just as the Constitution requires.
Just as the Constitution requires, President can put forth a nominee, and that's great. We'll have him. So I'm sorry to keep you spinning in a whirlwind of changing opinions. Biden 92, don't put a judge on the court. Biden 2016, 2017, yes, put a judge on the court. McConnell back in 2016, do not put the judge on the court. McConnell 2020, put the judge on the court. Democrats now saying absolutely you cannot put the judge on the court in an election year. Democrats in 2016, all of the top Democrats in 2016, you must put the judge on the court.
The American people deserve a fully staffed court of 9.
The president nominates, and then the Senate advises and consents or not, but they go forward with the process.
What we're seeing here, and I hope this is temporary, is a disrespect for the Constitution.
The Constitution is 100% clear. The President of the United States has the right to nominate someone to be a justice of the Supreme Court. Senate's function is to hold hearings and to vote.
The blockade on filling a naturally occurring vacancy, in my view, is harmful to the independence of the Article III branch.
You cannot keep a seat on the Supreme Court, which represents all of us. You cannot keep it vacant against the Constitution.
Do pretty much everything they can to avoid acknowledging the legitimacy of our democratically elected president.
The American people expect the president's nominee to be given a fair hearing and a timely vote in the Senate.
Every day that goes by without a ninth justice is another day the American people's business is not getting done.
Oh, I love that symphony. I love that symphony because you have every top Democrat in 2016 making the opposite argument than they are making right now. And sure, maybe McConnell's doing that a little bit too, and Joe Biden's done it multiple times, totally swinging from side to side. Does this mean that they're hypocrites? No, it means they're very funny. It means they're very funny people, and it means that some of them are unserious people, but it does not actually mean that they're hypocrites. At least McConnell's not a hypocrite. The people trying to make the eternal arguments universal, here's the rule for all time, there's a little hypocrisy there. But the people making the argument, no, in this election year, we shouldn't put up a judge. In this election year, maybe we should put up a judge. That's not hypocritical. That is about power. This is a very simple issue. The Constitution says that the president has the right to put forward a judge nominee. The Senate has the right to advise and consent to or reject that nominee. And then, when they consent to it, the judge is put on the court. Very simple. There is nothing complicated about that. There is nothing controversial about that. Anybody who is trying to tell you that this is complicated or controversial is deceiving you or deceiving themselves. So what changes? Well, what changes is power. Right now, we have a Republican president and a Republican Senate. So we can probably, maybe, except the Republicans are so useless, but we can maybe get a judge nominee through. Good. 2016, you had a Democrat president, a Republican Senate. They weren't going to get a judge nominee through. Okay, cool. Great. That's power. That's how it works. There's nothing hypocritical about elected politicians using the power entrusted in them by the people according to the Constitution. Nothing hypocritical at all. All about power. I hope you enjoyed this segment of The Michael Knowles Show, because you should know that on September 28th, it will be moving from the Daily Wire YouTube channel to be available exclusively on my YouTube channel, The Michael Knowles Show. You can get a link to that in the description below. Obviously, there's still going to be a lot of great stuff on the Daily Wire channel. We want to make a little bit more room for those kind of things. We got a lot of fun new stuff coming on the Michael Knowles Show channel as well. So ring the bell. Make sure you never miss out on a new video.